Hey. It's Rachel. I'm here, Conservative Mama live vlog of the week. It's Tuesday, November 17th. Is it 17th, Rob? I got Rob Hix behind the scenes here, producer Rob with Hixvideo producing for me. If you guys ever need any kind of video guru, expert, Rob is your guy. He does corporate stuff. He does political stuff. He does even like family stuff. So whatever. I mean, look him up. Hixvideo. He's my producer. I use him for all sorts of stuff. He's awesome. He gets me out of a lot of jams. Sometimes I get stuck in a jam and I need Rob. So that's who you call, people. Welcome to today's show. Let's see who's here. We're live. Let's see here. Rob, do we have the comments going here? I see myself live, unless Facebook's not even, let me see. It's like a delayed. I'm on a delay. Okay. Am I good, Rob? Oh, here we are. I didn't see anybody. Oh, hey, Denise. I didn't see anybody's comments. Shelby, Michael, Roy. Hello, John. Welcome, guys. Get in here. Thank you so much. Darlene, thank you for your support, Darlene. Angie, what's up? Mary, hello. Okay. So we're live. It's happening. There's a lot to discuss right now. And I just want to first start off by saying, do not grow weary. Okay. I think it was 20, we're at day 22, not after the election. We're day 14 right now since the election. But back when we had the huge dispute in 2000 with Gore and Bush, they still had 22 days from now to go. 22 days. So they still had 3 more weeks, the American people in 2000, of not knowing who the president was. So I just want to say this, regardless of what the media is saying, we have recounts taking place throughout the United States. We have lawsuits taking place throughout the United States. This election is not over. There's a lot of things being disputed. There's allegations of fraud. We've got people coming forward signing affidavits. We've got invalidated ballots. We've got a recount. A lot is going on. So for those of you that are like, oh, Rachel, just lay down and no, I'm not going to do that, because if we don't guarantee that America has fair elections that are full of integrity, we will no longer have fair elections with integrity the rest of our existence. It's over, guys. If we can't trust our election results, if we can't trust the integrity of our elections, we're done. It's like our republic is ceasing to exist. Everything right now is on the line. Everything is on the line right now in this moment. And we've got 74 million Americans that voted for the president that are not trusting the results of this election right now. They're not trusting the results of the election. And I'm telling you right now, though the mainstream media is not covering it, I have been inundated with videos, information, people that are releasing and exposing the truth, that it is overwhelming. There's overwhelming evidence now starting to come out saying that fraud has taken place. So if you're watching ABC, NBC, CBS, even some conservative networks, you're not getting the truth. And we should demand the truth as American citizens. So with that said, I'm going to go into just some topics. First of all, the government's now telling us who we can eat with. I'm serious. They're now saying who you're allowed to gather with and eat with, because welcome to communist China, I guess. It's insane. It's absolutely insane where we are right now as Americans. We've got a virus out there that has a survival rate of 99%, even more, Rob. What is it? Like 99 point, it's something in that, I don't even know. 99.7, Rob says. Okay, so, and we're literally canceling gatherings because I can't even, guys, if you're paying attention, you know why. I mean, if you've been following me at all I started speaking out against this, in March? I think it was March. I started making like claims and people are like, that's crazy. Why would you say that? This virus has been politicized. The Biden camp is upset right now that Trump, that there was an announcement that of vaccines are available. And they don't want vaccines to be available because if they're available, then possibly new administration, although I don't think it's Biden. If it was Biden, they would force, all sorts of stuff. I dare say they would force a vaccination. But if we have Trump at the helm, it's going to be you choose because it's America and we have free will and no one should force us to take anything and inject anything into our bodies if we don't want it. This is the thing. You have the choice. We're about choice. I'm not some crazy loon. All I am is I love freedom. I love the ability for people to choose what they want to do. You want to do something, do it. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. But don't have the government step in and tell you what you can and cannot do. That's where I draw the line. I'm not going to have the government telling me who I can eat with. I'm not having the government tell me what I can wear. I'm not about the government telling me any of this stuff. It's I'm an American. I mean, if you want that stuff, go over to Europe and live in like a heavily mandated government-controlled society. That's just not America. We're the we're revolution. We're the rebellious. We're the ones that this country was founded on rebellion. This country was founded on people that said, no, you're not going to tell us what we can and cannot do. And that's what I'm about. And that's what conservatives are about. We want to limit government. We don't want the government telling us what we can and cannot do. So that's also. And Biden, who apparently has been in his basement for the last, almost year, the guy comes out yesterday and he's like, everybody needs to wear a mask. And I'm like, dude, we've been wearing masks. Like I think like over 70% of the population has had a mask strapped across their face. And we've got cases like just skyrocketing. So Biden, we are wearing a mask, but obviously this guy doesn't know that because he's been in his basement. He has no idea he has no idea what's going on. That's the only thing. That's his solution. Just put a mask on. Like, okay, well, we've been doing that. So you guys, I don't even know. Okay. So Rachel, why are you suspicious about the election results? Like, why are you suspicious? Well, I'm suspicious because, I saw tens of thousands of 40,000 people showing up at a crowd for Donald Trump. And then I see his opponent can't even pack a parking lot. That's just common sense. Well, they didn't want to go to the parking lot because they're scared of COVID. Well, those same people that are scared of COVID have no problem rioting in the streets and burning buildings down and attacking Trump supporters at rallies. So are they afraid of COVID or are they not afraid of COVID? I just don't think he has the support. And I'm using common sense. Plus, let's just look at this. Let's look at the stats. Republicans gained House seats. Okay. We even flipped House seats. We're now looking at possibly gaining 13 seats in the House. Okay. We took seats away from Democrats. So what you're telling me to believe is that somebody got a ballot and they're like, okay, I'm going to totally vote for this Trump supporting House member, but I'm not voting for Trump. I don't buy it. I don't buy that anybody did that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy it. If you're voting for a Trump supporting patriot congressional House seat, you're voting for the president. You just are. So, and the hundreds of thousands of ballots that showed up in the middle of the night, and I think it was Michigan, all for Biden. Like I've said before, you flip a coin 100 times and you get heads every single time, and then you come back to me. It's statistically impossible. So we've got more and more information coming out right now. Sidney Powell, I don't know if you guys know who this woman is. She's a lawyer for the Trump campaign. She has been a lawyer. She's phenomenal. Woman is phenomenal. And what's interesting, pay attention, guys, because the media is not attacking Sidney Powell because she's got like this stellar resume. And usually the media tries to immediately they're like, well, she's racist or she's something. but they haven't had anything on Cindy because there's nothing on Cindy. She's like clean slate, phenomenal, just perfection of a lawyer, and she's bringing all the stuff down right now. Like she is exposing all sorts of stuff. We're super excited that she's on this, because she was actually just on Maria Bartiromo over a couple days ago, and I want to air a clip really quick of this, Rob, if you have it, just of he's like, yeah, I've been waiting, just to show you kind of some stuff she said really quick here. So can you hear it? Oh, there's no audio. Oh, dang it. Okay. Well, okay. So basically what she comes on and says is, she says that they have just a plethora of information, a plethora of evidence that they're about to drop. And then she went on after this, actually last night, and went on Lou Dobbs and dropped even more information. She read aloud an affidavit, signed affidavit by a high up ranking military officer who was involved in the creation of Smartmatic. Now, Smartmatic, guys, is the software used in Dominion voting system. So there's this system called Dominion. So when you hear people talk about Dominion, it's this system called Dominion, and in it is a Smartmatic software. Now thank you for the donation, the great douchebag. He was on last week. Awesome, dude. I thank you so much. Appreciate it. So there's this software called Smartmatic, and it's inside of the voting system, right? The Dominion voting system. So this guy goes on the record and he says that they designed this software to flip votes, to switch votes, and they actually hook it up to the internet when this is like when voting is happening, and this is when it all goes into play. So, and that happened with our elections. Like, so at some points people are saying suddenly they were hooked up to the internet. So it's like this, well, wait a minute, why would you be hooked up to the internet? And my husband's like a huge software IT guy, and he's like, anytime you hook up to the internet, you're automatically opening a door for just complete cheating, complete fraud, any kind of, and they can get in right there and do whatever they want to do if you're hooked up to the internet. And that happened on election night in several states. This same guy helped with this software was created to actually overturn the election results in Venezuela with Maduro and Chavez, and it's being used in our country. Like, I'm sorry, just right there. If we're using any kind of voting system that was used in a dictatorship overthrow, like that should be like, what, why would we be using Dominion at all? I know that Colorado used Dominion. I'm interested to see how deep this goes. And I'm hearing that, oh gosh, it's so much. I've got my special guest on here, Rose. She's about to come on, but she's like looking at me like, it's nuts. It is nuts. And it's crazy. And it makes me think like, it makes me concerned, because I think how deep does this go? And now I'm hearing like CIA was involved, and I don't know, guys. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. So if you have been, then you probably know what I say, because I got to be careful what I say because Facebook and YouTube are much more censorship. But I'm speaking my mind over in Parler, just so you guys know, if you want to come follow me there, because you can say what you want there freely and you're not censored. So with that said, I want to quickly address the March for Trump that happened on Saturday. Phenomenal event. Thousands and thousands of people showed up. And Politico said hundreds. This video I had to post because it was Politico says hundreds of people showed up. And then look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Does that look like hundreds? Yeah, that looks like hundreds of thousands to me. But if you're getting your information from the mainstream media, you're not going to know anything that's going on at all. Like, you're literally like, you are the most uninformed person out there if you're still watching the mainstream media for any information that you want. Like, you're just know that when you go to bed at night, you're the most uninformed person on the planet at this point, because the media is bought and owned. They're not giving you the truth. You guys have to hunt for it. So thousands of people showed up. Sadly, at the end of this event, Antifa showed up. Makes me so mad. I saw this video, guys. Oh, I saw this video of this mother. I guess she ran for Congress. I need to get her name. But this woman with her children is attacked by Antifa. She's pushing her kids. In the stroller, and Antifa comes up and starts like attacking her, separating her from her children. And I'm like, there you go. Those are good old fashioned Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Marxist funded Black Lives Matter. And also let's remember, not one Democrat has come out and condemned this. Not one. And these were Trump supporters that were out there peacefully protesting, demanding for fair elections, out there in support of our president. And not one Democrat has come forward and condemned this. That says something, right? Biden's been silent. And this is the guy that says, oh, let's unify. I'm not unifying with anything this guy says, because this guy is a socialist, communist, and supports killing babies. So I'm not unifying with that. And I'm not unifying with Antifa, and I'm not unifying with Black Lives Matter. So that's where we stand on that. Anyways, a very special person was there at the event. And I can't wait to have her on. Her name is Rose Tennent. You guys probably have heard her. She's kind of a big deal. She's filled it. She's taking a break right now because she's super busy, but she was nationally syndicated radio host. She's filled in for Sean Hannity. Her voice is like butter. You could just listen to her talk forever. Whenever she guest hosts for Sean Hannity, I'm like, oh. She gets the big names. She gets the Kellyanne Conways, the Ben Carsons, Andrew McCarthy, Greg Jarrett, Scott Adams. They all come on and talk with Rose. So really quick, I want to play a clip of her because she was in DC speaking again with the Walk Away campaign on Sunday that was also there. So check this out.
Money, appreciate that. So this next powerful woman has a show called Rose Unplugged. She's been on Fox News numerous times. She's guest hosted for Sean Hannity. She's guest hosted for Dennis Prager. She really needs no introduction, but her personality is just like her name. Miss Rose, come on up, young lady.
Hi, everybody. Listen, first of all, Brandon Strzok, thank you for walking away. Look what you started. And you know what? Guess what? 244 years ago, there were a group of men who decided to walk away. They were our founding fathers, and they knew what it was like to live under tyrannical rule. They knew what it was like to have someone tell them how they could worship, if they could worship, how they could work, what they could work at. That sounds very familiar right now, doesn't it? Very familiar. And those men, those strong and wise and courageous men, got together. And listen, it took courage, because they knew when they walked away, they would be putting a target on their back. Yes, they did. They knew they were sacrificing their lives, their sacred honor, and their fortunes. And yet they did it.
It's so true. They knew that they would be putting a target on their back. And I think a lot of Americans right now, we are putting targets on our backs, and we're willing to do it because we love this country, we love freedom, and we're not going to just throw it away so easily. So with that, Rose, welcome to the program. I'm so excited to have you on. Welcome, welcome.
I am more excited to be on. Girl, I love you.
Oh.
You took me through the first couple of months of COVID when I was first afraid, and then I just got really annoyed with COVID. But at first I was afraid, and you were just such a blessing. You had us all laughing and taking our mind off of what was going on. You really have some talent, girl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love it. I was like I was saying to you before we started this, it's just, it's awesome how God brings things full circle. And, you know, having a background in acting and now being able to kind of do it now with something I'm really passionate about is awesome. So with that, I would like to kind of talk about you and how you got started in the whole political thing. I mean, you're a mom, you're a patriot, you're heavily involved, way more than I am. So I'd kind of like for those watching, because I know there's a lot of moms that watch this and they're like, well, what do I do? Like, how do I get plugged in? How do I have more of a say? What's kind of your story?
Well, you know, my story, I started out in television and then got radio, and again, you know, it's always God how things work out. Had an opportunity to meet Sean Hannity. He was on the same radio station I was on several markets, and we just became quick friends, and I'm very grateful for that. And for years now, 15 years, I've been guest hosting for him, and it's just, you know, it's just like when we ask God for direction, you know, he gives it to us. He really does. And I've counted on that all my life, and I'm counting on it right now. Just finished working for the campaign. And, you know, for women out there, we care so very much about our country. And for those of us that are moms, we care so very much about our children and their future. More than anything else, more than our present, we care about their future.
Right.
So we are really willing to do whatever it takes. And, you know, right now, there are so many women that I would love to see get into politics on one level or another, whether it's as a school board member or a politician all the way. It doesn't matter. There's always somewhere you can plug in, or offer to help those who are running, because it requires a whole lot from those people who are running. And, you know, you talked about full circle with God and everything. When I think about our founding fathers, they were inspired by the word of God. They understood that our freedoms came from God. They don't come from man, because if they came from man, then man can take them away. And that's what we're seeing in some of the blue states, that man wants to take away our freedoms. But you know what? They understood that this is a gift from God, our liberty. And it's kind of interesting that we've come full circle, because we started out really in Pennsylvania, and that's where a lot of eyes are right now. We've got a lot of litigation going on, a lot of lawsuits. And, you know, we are the Keystone State for a reason. We're the Keystone State because we birthed this freedom. This is where it's all started. The Constitution was drafted at what we now call Independence Hall in Philadelphia. And before that, 11 years before that, the Declaration of Independence was signed in the same place. These people were inspired by the word of God. These men, when they signed that Declaration of Independence, it said, because, you know, they did hesitate until John Witherspoon got up and said, there's a tide in the affairs of men. Do you perceive it not before you? He really, really wanted them to understand that if they miss this opportunity, they've missed the whole thing.
Right.
And that's what you've been saying, Rachel, to your listeners and to your viewers. If we miss this opportunity, we are now right back where we started from. It is a battle for liberty. It is a battle for the republic. And we now have an opportunity before us. If we don't perceive it, if we don't move on it, then we have lost the republic. I am confident of that.
Right. And I think there's a famous quote. What is it? That you can vote your way into socialism and communism, but then you have to fight your way out of it. And I mean, I don't think people understand what we're really fighting for right now. Because like I said, if we can't have fair elections, because I know a lot of conservatives already are like, well, let's just look at, 2022 and 2024. I'm like, if you let this go, voting from here on is rigged. Do you think another conservative is going to be able to assume the highest office? Do you think even conservatives will be able to take House seats and Senate seats if we can't get this right? You're crazy. Like, it's all on the line right now, and we have to demand fair elections. We cannot get tired. I got people out there that are like, oh my gosh, just, no, we're not. I'm sorry. I love this country too much to just be like, to throw the towel in. We have to demand fair elections, and there's evidence of fraud out there. And if it doesn't matter who you are, don't you want to know your candidate won fairly?
Yes.
Like, if you're a Biden supporter and you're watching this, right, don't you want to know that your guy fairly won if you really back him?
I mean, you make such great points. Number one, you are right. First of all, this is not about one man, one election, one campaign. Not at all. It is about our future. But the other point that you make is so important. I am so tired of hearing people say to me, oh, but we have the Senate, or if we have the Senate, or there's always 2 years from now. Wrong.
Right.
You don't think that they have mastered this. Listen, in Pennsylvania, we have been fabled in story and song for our fraud when it comes to voting, okay? Now they have it down to an art form. And let me tell you, it will be every race now that can be bought, that can be stolen. Just make no doubt about it. And you are so right, Rachel. You are so right on about that. We don't have another time. We don't have any more time. It's this battle right now. It is the greatest battle that we will ever fight. It's a battle for freedom, just like the Revolutionary War was. And we fight this battle, I think, mostly on our knees. We need to be praying.
Right. Yes. Yes. Tons of prayer and tons of like demanding. I mean, we need to like, especially what's going on with Georgia right now with Brian Kemp, and he's not like, we need to audit every single vote. And the fact that we're not matching signatures means that a lot of those ballots, that even though they're having a recount, we're recounting fraudulent votes is not a recount. Like, we need to make sure that the votes that are being counted are legitimate votes. And so there, we need to be calling down there, and I know I think there's another protest happening down there this weekend in Georgia, demanding that our politicians, that our elected officials follow the rule of law. And if there's any kind of discrepancies, if there's any kind of like, hey, check on this, then we need to have it looked into, and we need to audit. And so and it's crazy that people are like have an issue with this. Like, what? Why would you have an issue with this? If your guy won, then let's really take a deep dive and make sure that he won fairly.
And wouldn't you want that for everybody, right?
Yes.
I have to just say, by the way, you have no idea how many Zoom interviews, media hits I do, and my dog just lays over there and is quiet and shuts up. Right now, he won't stop with the toy. Leave him alone, and I apologize. I am so sorry.
No, I don't hear it. It's fine. You're fine. I hear like, oh my gosh, quiet. Please be quiet. No, it's fine. Hey, at any point in time, my daughter could walk in and be like, Mom.
And I love that.
It's happened. It's so real. It's totally happened. No big deal. So, okay. So I know you're on the ground in Pennsylvania. Yeah. That's where you're from. Can you give us a closer look at what's going on there? Do you have any inside information? I know that
I do have some information.
Okay.
Right now, and I'm really excited too about this because the Pennsylvania House is leading an investigation into how the election was conducted. If you look at just 2 counties, and you mentioned this number, I think when you and I were talking before we jumped on the Facebook Live, just 2 counties, one close to where I am is Allegheny County. The other one is Philadelphia County. Just those 2 alone, they had to process over 680,000 mail-in and absentee ballots. 680,000. And guess what? It was all done without anyone reviewing it from the parties or the candidates. And this has never happened before in Pennsylvania voting history. Not ever. Oh, this is the first. And, it's very concerning to a lot of us. Now, I have talked to a lot of the lawyers who are on the ground, and I want to be really careful about what I say because they're very careful about what they say. But I can tell you this, that they are confident, that they have very strong pieces of legislation. They know that what they're taking further to the Supreme Court is very critical and very strong, and they feel good about it. They feel that we have been disadvantaged. And think about this, Rachel, we really have. Those people that voted in person have been disadvantaged. They really have, because others have had months or even days after an election to make a decision or to cast their ballot. So in many ways, we have been disadvantaged. But the bottom line is what you said. All of us as Americans should want to know that our election is free and it's without fraud. And to know that we went in and we cast our ballots and that our ballots counted, our votes counted.
Right. And I mean, we've got Biden talking about, unity and all this stuff. Well, you've got 74 million Americans that voted for Trump. A vast majority of those people don't trust the results. They're not trusting. They're hearing all sorts of people, ballots showing up in the middle of the night, ballots being thrown away, people not being able to watch the counting take place, fraud. The whole Dominion system is being looked into. All of this, and then you're saying, "Oh, let's just come together." Like, if you really wanted to unify people, and you're the leader, then you would say, hey, let's look into this. Let's make sure this was rightfully done. Like, I've used this as an example. If you're running a race and somebody's like, Rachel totally cheated. She totally cheated. And I'm like, and I don't say anything. And I'm like, that would make it look like I cheated. Like, if I didn't cheat, I'd be like, no, I didn't cheat. Run the tape. check me for drugs and make sure that I'm not taking anything that's enhancing my performance. And I want to prove to you I did not cheat. I rightfully won this thing. And that's what people do when they rightfully win things. They say, no, I did not cheat. I want to prove to you I didn't cheat. And let's get to the bottom of this. The fact that the Biden campaign is completely ignoring this says a lot to me. Does it not say a lot? I mean,
oh, yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. And I, if I were a candidate or I were running a race, I would want to know that I won fair and square. That would be important to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, I love when he says that we all have to get along or we're going to unify. That's after calling 70 million people chumps. You know,
right? Right.
Chumps. But let's all come together, chumps.
Yeah. You know? And I think he said dregs of society in one of his speeches too. I'm like, okay.
Dregs, chumps. Yeah.
Yeah. We're deplorable dregs, trunks, let's all get together and you know, like, what is, you don't do that. I'm sorry. So, what else did I want to ask you? So, okay. So what can people do right now? Like people that are watching this and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm praying. Now, what do I do? Like, what can I do right now? Like any advice to people out there that are kind of like, what, as we wait in this process right now?
Yeah, I agree. The prayer is number one. I honestly believe that because we are praying for the foundation of this country. We are praying for the country that God has given us. We're praying for a country that is freer than any other country has ever been in the history of mankind, I believe. So yeah, that's what we're praying for. And that is essential. Secondly, I think it's really, really important that, I mean, if you can get out and you can show your support for this president. I know what you were saying earlier. They said hundreds were out for that event. Let me tell you something. I spoke at the Supreme Court steps. I was on the stage with Dr. Sebastian Gorka and Matt Schlapp and so many others. I know what I saw. I saw hundreds of thousands of people show up for that march. And I love it because the president actually did drive through.
Yeah, I saw that video. It's awesome.
You know he did. You know he would do something like that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Check it out. But show your support. I know that in most major cities, every Saturday at noon, there are rallies. I know that all across the country, this Saturday, Atlanta has a huge one coming up.
Yeah.
There's that. Show your support that way. And, you know, and then just stay on it, man. You just got to really, I just really believe that this is a spiritual battle. It is a spiritual battle. And it is every bit as important as the Revolutionary War because we fight for the very same thing.
That's so true. So true. Also, I know that, and with this heated election down in Georgia, we've got 2 Senate races up there that will really decide who controls the Senate. You guys can give to those campaigns. And also, I highly recommend giving to the Trump campaign for funding for this, like all of these lawsuits, because they need.
I have a link for that.
Okay.
I have a link. So I'll make it available to you. I'll give it to you later.
Yeah.
And you can make it available to all of your fans. But absolutely, giving to the defense fund is vitally important right now.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, okay, Rose, as we wrap up, what are you up to now? Like, what are you doing now? What do you kind of have planned for the future? Where can people follow you and support you?
Asking. Well, first of all, I think I'm going to be in the Philadelphia area, although that only 4 people can get together outside. I mean, this is also crazy. You can find out where I'm going to be by checking me out on my website is Rose Unplugged. Most of my stuff is on Facebook, Rose Unplugged, throwing the ball to the dog, Twitter, Rose_Unplugged, and Instagram is Rose Unplugged and the number 1. Awesome. But yeah, so you can do that.
Awesome. Rose, thank you so much for coming on. You're just such a light and such a inspiration to me. I'm a fan of you, so you keep doing what you do, and we're in this fight, and keep the faith, right? You know, keep strong and never surrender.
Never surrender, girl, and keep up what you're doing. We love you so much out here.
Thank you. All righty, Rose, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So guys, I'm going to wrap up with that pretty much. I will read. Okay, let's read some comments here. People are saying hi to Rose. Yes. Hey, from Connecticut. Hello. Oh, you guys are so sweet. What else is going on? Karen elect video. Oh yes. Check out my Karen. Okay. So heavy censorship, guys, taking place on Facebook. I put out a Karen elect for President Karen elect. And it went pretty decent on Twitter, but Facebook is like clamping down on me. So come check out that video and share it. It basically just captures what's going on about how the media has just completely stepped in and has no respect for the Constitution, the rule of law, or for Americans, because they're just calling the election, saying, you know, it's done, when nothing has been certified. Nothing has been concrete. We're still in the middle of this thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. I believe that truth will come out. I'm still believing that truth is going to come out. What has been hidden in darkness will be exposed. Just unite with me in that prayer. What has been hidden in darkness will be exposed. I'm just praying for the light to shine bright and for the truth to come out. Because we have to be able to trust our election process. We have to be able to trust the vote. We have to be able to trust that as Americans, when we vote for someone, we're voting for that person, and that vote's not going to get switched or changed by some kind of software. And the more information that's coming out that's saying this is taking place, it should be a concern for every American. That's all I'm saying. It should be a concern for every American, regardless of what party affiliation you are a part of. You should be concerned that there are some claims and evidence coming forth saying that fraud has taken place. And so if it has taken place, let's investigate it. Let's get to the bottom of this, and let's make sure that it never, ever happens again in our free America. So thank you guys for watching. Share this video. Thank you to my supporters. You guys are awesome. I'm so thankful for you guys. Go subscribe to my Conservative Momma website. Oh my gosh, there's so many Conservative Momma stuff. I'm also now on MeWe, and I'm on Parler. There I speak freely, not censored. It's incredibly liberating, because I'm always like, oh my gosh, can I say this? And are they going to delete my page for saying this? Because free speech is just being eliminated. But on these platforms, I don't have that fear. Like, it's really kind of nice. I'm like, well, this is what I'm thinking, so I'm just going to say it. And I'm able to do that on MeWe and Parler. So come follow me there. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Be blessed. Keep praying. Keep interceding. Do not surrender. God has this. Trust in him. And have a good day. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks so much.